Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. I got a really fun reveal today. Been hunting this one down also since 2005, just like the Cerise or Cherry Keepall 45 with in collaboration with Takashi Murakami and Louis Vuitton. So the Keepall is here. I'm loving it so much. I have to also admit it's not like I'm using it a lot. I wish I would use it more, to be honest with you, but I don't know. I'm still very protective of it. So as much as I would just like to, say, forget about it, let's just like go for it. Don't matter if I smash it, if I bump into stuff, if the cherries kind of scratch off on the sides, I can't let go yet. So I'm still kind of enjoying it a lot on small kind of movements, not big trips. But I'm getting more and more used to the idea of kind of taking this one on longer trips and just, enjoying it without really having any sort of afterthought. Although I have to say, perhaps the right bag for that sort of use and consumption would be a Keepall 50 or 45 with the bandolier, with the shoulder strap, and then without the cherries, because the cherries are such an art piece that I can't get myself over the beauty of the color and the saturation of the color. So like kind of, really forcing it into the world, it's still not an option really. But you never know. Things can change. And again, I think still the best travel bag would be the shoulder strap version, regular monogram Keepall without the cherries. With the cherries, it's just like an extra. It's an added bonus feature. It's an added art feature to the design. But I'm still like enjoying it like it were a baby, rather than just kind of throwing it around and when traveling and stuff like that. But however, 45, the size is perfect as a carry-on. So at least that's good. The reveal is actually not here. Give me a second. I have it placed, there it goes. I have it hidden in a little compartment on the side of the bunker. So we're still in the cherry department and hunted down the scarf. Now this is the biggest scarf that they make in silk, that Louis Vuitton made in silk. This is the cherries silk scarf. It's a 90 centimeter length. So you can see the pattern. Okay, well first, before we go into the comparison between the scarves, Takashi Murakami, I have done several videos on Takashi Murakami collaboration with Louis Vuitton. I've also spoken about the Takashi Murakami super flat art movement. You could, hear more about it in other videos that I've made. I will link them in the description box down below, as well as at the end of this video. The cherries are super fun. They are pop and they are whimsical. And here we have the monogram kind of canvas printed on a silk scarf, and then on top of it, I'm gonna have to come in closer for you to see this, and then on top of it you have a myriad of cherries. It's a lot of them. And then the border of the scarf, you have the actual art piece cherries by Takashi Murakami, the art piece being the actual original two cherries attached to one another, where one of them has the blue and one of them has the green stem, and then there's the leaf as well there. I've been missing the leaf until now because the Keepall does not come with the leaf. The cherries on the Keepall are leafless. Then you have the separated cherries, which are depicted all over the scarf, in the center part of the scarf, and then we have the actual attache. So that's the three type of cherries that were made for the Louis Vuitton and Takashi Murakami collaboration. Now the collection is full as far as I'm concerned. You do have the monogram background. So if we come in even closer, you might be able to see how it kind of shifts and moves according to, let me come in as close as possible, how it shifts and moves, how the Louis Vuitton logos and all of them are kind of like a little bit, I've explained this in the other video of mine where I talk about the cherries. It's shifted accordingly, so the monogram pattern repeats itself periodically, so do the cherries, but the cherries juxtaposed to the Louis Vuitton canvas are slightly off, so that means that the repetition varies. And for the eye, it's kind of very pleasant because you kind of keep on guessing where the patterns combine, but they never really repeat themselves. When you juxtapose the two patterns on top of each other, there is no real repetition. It's always different, even though in themselves, the two patterns are repeating themselves. Once you kind of juxtapose them, you get this kind of fresh, constant change in vibe. Let me get into the comparison part, and this is an interesting part of the video because I finally have like the 3 scarves I wanted in silk from Takashi Murakami and Louis Vuitton. So let's turn this right. So you could see the biggest one, so with the LVs upright, would be 90 to 90 centimeters, and then you have the small ones. Here we have the I See You monogram print with the eyeballs. This is around 68 centimeters. So when we take them, put them together, you can see here, silk is so hard to maneuver. Okay, so we have the white one ending there, and then the cherries keep on going this length here. So this is the extra added length the cherries keep going. And then here we have the cherries there. So 68 centimeters length here, around 68 approximately, and then the cherries being 90 centimeters. Because the cherries are so big, the scarf is so big, I can literally wear it this way without having to do the triangle. Because this one is kind of short, so you gotta fold it like this, and you take the diagonal length, so this makes the scarf much longer. So when you do that, you actually get more or less the same length as you would get with the cherry scarf if you were to literally just fold it like this. Just, you know, you grab it, you lift it, and then you put it around your neck. And I love this. I love the kind of the draping of it, you know. You have all of these layers and textures. And you could actually tie it up even this way. It's kind of tight though, but why not? I like the fact that we have this kind of brown hue and red attached to all of the kind of blackness that I'm feeling, the vibe that I'm in recently and lately. I mean, my hair isn't dyed black. It's a very warm hue. There's brown in it. There's a bit of red in there. There's a little bit of ash blonde in there as well. So there's a lot of mixes added in, which makes kind of the contrast, or let's say the addition of these brown hues and red tones and a hint of green really kind of combines very well with the hair. And I have green eyes as well, so this is an interesting combination. Or you could just leave it flat. Now, of course, I'm afraid if I'm walking or running through the city, this would just like fly off me because silk just has this tendency of kind of wobbling and moving around. So you could, of course, also, this one has a lot of monogram logos, but it also has the actual Louis Vuitton entire branding written here at the bottom. All of them do actually, right there. Where is it? It's here. Is it there? Yeah, it's there. There you have it. So all 3 of these scarves, so the ICU scarf as well as the Secret World of Sphere scarf with the panda, the onion head, and the flower hat man, all of them bear the Louis Vuitton logo at the bottom left corners. Now, I have been asked if the texture of the silks, let's put all 3 of them together. Let's just do the clash of everything. I've been asked if the texture of the silk is different. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, I can't believe some of you guys can really see that on the screen. That's incredible. You really have sniper vision. This one, being the thickest kind of woven silk, it's a different type of threading. And it also, you know, it kind of, absorbs the color and the dye differently. So what I want to say is if we're having like a beige background, because this is not really pure white, it's kind of beige, and then you have all of these pigmentations happening, this silk will react differently to the colors as would this one that is being treated with brown hues, completely dyed in brown, and then added, you know, red texture there as well. So if you, to the touch, this one is definitely thicker, the monogram I See You scarf. This one, we're talking millimeter, not even millimeter, nanometer kind of difference. This is just a tad tiny bit thinner. But this one is, I would say, the same silk consistency as the World of Sphere printed scarf, which you can see here. So these two have the same kind of textures and feel, a little bit of ASMR. You want to hear how the silk sounds? Let me put it on the microphone. So the Cherries silk scarf sounds like this. Okay, now let's hear the texture of the World of Sphere Murakami for Louis Vuitton scarf, how that one sounds. It's a bit, it feels a bit more wet to the texture. It's less dry. It's like more buttery to the touch, I have to say, than this one. And again, this has to do a lot with color as well, with the dye, you know, used. This one is more silent when you move it. It's more creamy, almost buttery silk. And then let's have the final one, which is the monogram I See You pattern. This is kind of the thickest one, and it's the most robust and the less flexible one of the woven versions. Let's hear how this one sounds. This one definitely sounds louder. And like if you kind of put it together, then you open it, this one kind of just unveils and brings itself back into shape quicker. So this is definitely the thickest of the three. So yes, there is a difference in consistency. They have also been produced in different years. Don't forget, like the raw materials that they receive, the silks, you know, from year to year also vary. This is a natural product. So, you know, you can't just like copy it one-to-one constantly. Silk is not artificial, it's natural. All right, so now let's do the last bit for this video, which is just putting the scarf on, and let's see how it looks next to the bag. Bam. Matchy, matchy. It is kind of a pain in the butt that things are so matchy, but I think that ultimately, if you're kind of just combining it with a lot of other just black, simple hues, could be interesting. What do you guys think? Wait, let me... Okay, I'm going to try to step back a little so you could see the distance, but I won't be talking because the mic will be too far away. Okay, that's an interesting total look, all in black with some brown Louis Vuitton additions added. I don't know, I'm kind of enjoying it. I really like the combination of the two together. You know, took forever, so the scarf came out 2005, we're in 2017 now, so that's a hell of a lot of years trying to hunt down a scarf like this one at a decent price on top of it all, because like whatever you do, if you're hunting this one down, and it is gorgeous and it's very rewarding to have it because it's so beautiful. I love the cherries, and each and every single one of these cherries is smiling at you, and there's hundreds of them. Whatever you do, don't hunt them down in Japan. Japan really has a tendency, secondhand market, of seeing these pieces as art pieces, which they are, in my modest opinion. But nevertheless, like if I check them out, they go for around like $4,000. That's, you shouldn't pay that much. You know, you shouldn't even, I mean, pay whatever you want to pay, but for a second-hand, you know, Louis Vuitton scarf like these, if you're lucky, you know, you're gonna get them for under $200, like the smaller ones. the bigger one, I would say, if you find it in good condition, in pristine condition, like this one is, you could accept up to 300, you know, but lower, of course, is better. The lower, the better. But like 4,000, come on, no, ain't happening. It ain't happening, really. So don't, like, you know, you gotta be patient. You gotta be patient and keep looking, and then when you find the right deal, when you find the right seller, when you find, you know, when the whole constellation is correct and right, and when you have like also the proper knowledge, you have to be careful not to buy a fake. You have to see that the colors are right, that they're aligned, that the print is perfect. There's a reasoning to why the stems of the cherries have different colors, because it's all stuff that kind of ultimately makes it much more difficult for counterfeit goods to be produced. So if the salesperson, you know, is offering you some sort of return policy, if you could pay with PayPal or some sort of form of payment that protects you in case, you know, the merch arrives defect or counterfeit. And then you need to have, you know, depending what website you're purchasing at, the seller has to have a lot of positive reviews, a lot, and I mean a lot. And you also look always through the history of that salesperson. What sort of products were they selling in the past? If they sold like 10 of the same scarf, red alert, red alarm. Like each and every one of these was sold from different salespeople that have never sold a Louis Vuitton kind of monogram or something scarf before, but they have sold a lot of luxury goods in the past. So that is a very good, and on all the reviews were positive, you know. But just like, don't think that somebody that's mass selling the same product, vintage piece, luxury vintage silk piece, and has like 10 of them sold in the past 2 months. Something is very wrong. So be very, very cautious. However, I have to say that all things considered, I have seen these very, very, very seldomly copied. Most of the ones out there, and they're very rare to find, but most of them, the original ones, most of them out there, any sort, fake or original, it's very rare to find them. There's not a lot of demand for them in general, so people that have them usually tend to keep them, not to sell them, so it's kind of hard to find them, and when you do find them, they're usually authentic, you know, but you got to have a good eye for that. So there you go, guys. There was a little reveal, and the freaking camera died on me again because it overheated, so doesn't matter. Anyway, I was done. So, as I was saying, there's not a lot of fakes out there, but they're still out there, so be very cautious. Do your research before purchasing something, you know, 12 years old. It's a soft vintage. And enjoy all of these amazing Takashi Murakami pieces because they bring so much joy. I mean, each and every piece of these like smile at you, you know. They really brighten your day, and God knows we need that light amidst all the darkness and all the kind of tragedies that have been happening lately around the world. So, having said that, I would like to salute you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this reveal and review and tip video. If you have, please do thumb it up and let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. Also, let me know if you have any Murakami monogram pieces or cherry Murakami for Louis Vuitton pieces or the World of Sphere pieces, and share your passions with me. If you haven't already but do wish to, please subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So, we never give up on love, and that makes us smile together with all of Murakami's smiling little animals and fruits and vegetables. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon. Take care. Bye.